joined by Louis Luna. Cage Wars next weekend, April 13th. It's a West Texas battle. You and Dez Hill. First off, heard the last time you were in action, won now 4 of your last 5 fights. Last time in action was a boxing match for a lifetime of MMA fighting. What was that like, jumping into the boxing ring?
It was a lot different. It was kind of a last-minute kind of deal. I jumped in. I considered boxing before in the past, and it didn't go through as planned. I had trouble with opponents coming in and, you know, backing out on me kind of deal, and I had an opportunity to come in, and like I said, as far as any competitive sports in my area, that was the next event, and Golden Eagle Promotions came through, and they're having this boxing event, and whether it's a boxing event, a grappling event, or any kind of combative, especially MMA, I'm going to do my part to make sure I'm a part of that, to help my area grow and, you know, make it more accessible and opportunities for the younger fighters coming up, and, you know, of course, growing the sport and, you know, helping the guys come up, and, you know, doing like I said, my best part to come in and, you know, make a show out of it kind of deal.
During that boxing card, you fought on the same card as Dez Hill. The guy that turns out to be your opponent for this upcoming fight. Two of you are two of the more notable figures in West Texas combat sports. What's led to this matchup?
Like you said, the success of him and what success I've had and our experiences. It's very rare for where we come from to somebody to even have so many professional bouts and so much professional experience, and to get to match up, and it's just what the people are trying to see. And, you know, I mean, I may not seem like always about the show. Sometimes I'm more, you know, I'm focused on course. I always trying to win, but at the end of the day, this is an entertainment business, and the only name that comes up whenever we're matching up fights is, hey, what about Louis Luna and Dez Hill, you know, and that's the fight that people want to see, and it's going to draw the most. And like I said, I'm trying to do my best and do my part to make sure that the fight game is growing in my area, and there's a future in it, and it doesn't die down. And I feel like a lot of areas, whether you move towards the Dallas area, even towards over here, all these opportunities of competition, it's kind of hurting the beginner crowd back home, because they're not getting the opportunities to compete as often and, you know, take that next step and get to the more successful, bigger shows. I'm not signed nowhere big specifically, but I know, just like Dez, I draw a crowd around my local hometown, and a big fights, you know, what every promotion's looking to make.
So no grudge match. This is just more big name, known name. It's the fight business. This is the biggest fight you could get. That's what I'm kind of hearing.
Yes, sir. It's not a personal grudge kind of deal. I mean, some people like the hype of that on a fight, and I understand it. And, you know, of course, everybody thinks somebody who's got a personal note with somebody is a better fight and kind of deal. But to me, it's like I told the boxing promoters, whether I'm in the grappling game or especially in the cage, I'm trying to fight the best guys and prove that I'm the best and I'm the top person, and I'm the one deserving to step up next if anybody's going to get signed in a big promotion, or, you know, get those kind of opportunities on account of I've beat the best guys in the local regional. Because you can't be a world champion and then not even fight the local guys and just skip that stage. You have to, in my eyes, prove yourself in your local area and show that you are the best before you're even given that opportunity to fight in a world kind of class situation, as opposed to, you know, whatever people think's the most successful thing in a fighting career. That's my thoughts on it.
From the outside looking in, it's boxer, wrestler, kind of got the same style, I'd say, but there's a big difference. You're moving up like 20 pounds, and I think this is the smallest I'm going to see Dez here in a while, a guy that's grabbed a KOTC interim title at 170. Your experience, everything, why does the size not matter? Why are you going up 20 pounds?
Once again, it's not necessarily the size deal, it's the status of them. In the grappling business, I feel like I jump into the open competition because that's where the prize is and that's where the respect is earned in the big absolute weight division. And I'm a firm believer in the old ways back when there was no weight classes at all. And this is, hey, you're a cage fighter, you're the most brutal, realistic kind of fighter there is. You do not step down from those opportunities. Yes, we had a lot of feud going back and forth. I feel like Dez could make the weight a little lower and he could have made it more towards my side. But once again, I did my part. I know the scene for mixed martial arts back home has kind of died down. And if I have to turn around, and thankfully with the help of Eric Gutierrez and a couple other guys doing real big things to try to make this thing happen, and make things happen for me and the promotion. And like I said, that's what everybody's wanting to see, and that's what everybody's interested in seeing, because nobody really cares for the fights where you show up and nobody knows nobody on the card and who's this guy and who's this guy. It's not interesting. It's interesting whenever, hey, I know this guy and I know this guy. I've seen this guy, I've trained with this guy, and there's a lot of
there's the emotion
exactly in the middle, and everybody knows who. If you know one fighter in a fight, of course you'd like to see it, but if you know both of them, you gotta see it. And that's the way I feel about this fight. People are just gonna have to come see it because they just have to know the real outcome and see what happens. And it goes back to my grappling kind of tournaments and stuff like that. I want the guys that are, hey, this is the instructor over here and he's belted high and this and that, and I've never made a big deal about myself. I know I have great training facility behind me and great instructors behind me, but at the same time inside the gym it's a different accomplishment as opposed to when you step on competition day and you go out to compete in front of a crowd, and that's when it really matters and you really show where you are on your skill level.
Could you talk about your advantages in this fight?
My advantages is experience, my knowledge in this. I've been preparing well. Even in me fighting at 55, I've walked around a few pounds heavier than I am as of right now. I'm walking around really close to this 65 limit, but it's more of the high pace I'm going to set on him. I know me and Dez have worked each other in the gym, being from, you know, the same area. We've kind of ran across each other, and he's got a mindset of we're just going to kind of, you know, do what we did in the gym, but it's not going to be nothing like that. Just like I said, what matters is what happens on fight night. And I feel like my drive for this, I come up here, I give everything I have, and I dedicate myself to this fight business. I don't take vacations. I don't do nothing exciting like that in life. I spend the few dollars I make out in the oil field over there, and then I bring it back up here and I spend it on my knowledge here, preparing to the best of my ability. And I feel like the preparation is going to be the success in this fight.
How awkward and strange did it feel having to do a little back and forth on social media with this fight to get it made and whatnot, considering that you are that hard hat, lunch pal, non-vocal kind of guy, having to do that at some point to make this matchup happen? How'd that feel?
I feel like it's roller coastered for me in the past, and you know, it's just like any other scenario. There's your good guy, the bad guy, and he's getting a lot of support back home. He's got a good, successful gym, and I understand a lot of people are behind him and a lot of people are cheering him on. And hey, if I got to be this bad guy, I didn't want to put it to that point, which I ended up towards the end to make the final seal on the deal, and I still didn't get the request that I wanted on my end. But at the same time, like I said, I just need everybody to know I'm plenty confident in this, but I'm the one reaching to his side, and I'm taking this on his terms and his advantages. But that's just going to show in the long run when this is all done. I'm more deserving and more accomplished than he is, despite his King of the Cage or Naga titles or whatever he has hanging up there in his gym, and that's good. And the man's doing a good job in his gym back home, and that's good. But once again, like I said, I've had opportunities to grow my gym back home, and Warrior Elite has kind of died off back home on account of I'm not there, because I'm doing the selfish thing coming up here and doing what I can. I'm fortunate enough to be connected with all these people in this great gym and get with the people more experienced than my already 12 plus years experience in the business, so that way I can continue to learn and continue to grow. I have a bunch of great coaches here, Coach Shane, of course Luttrell, Yee, Frank Gomez last night teaching me, former top 10 bantamweight, just a whole list of legit people. And the atmosphere of Albuquerque, just today we had some guys from the old Pitbull gym come in, and that was years back, and these guys have got years on and years on of training, and I know it's more comfortable to stay home and, you know, be the top guy, but you can't grow if somebody's not one-upping you and showing you up and pushing you to that next level towards you understand and you humble yourself that you are human and you can be defeated. Everybody can be beaten. Anybody's got a chance in this kind of business, and you have to know and round up your chances and your odds, because this is just gambling. No matter what, somebody better than somebody else in every aspect of the game can still come out and make a little mistake just in the highlight of the moment and come out losing fight. Everybody knows and everybody sees that, and that's a big reason why, to me, the sport's such a success, because the underdog can always come in and prove the odds, just like I plan on proving the odds with Dez, despite the fact I'm getting closer to his 170 weight class versus my 145 weight class. And with hard work, determination, and everything else that comes behind it, and preparation, I'm going to come out with my hand raised on April 13th.